talking about one of the most iconic guitar types in the world, which falls in the territory of ES335 series. Right. The mystery which shrouds as to what can you actually do with that guitar. And if you actually go by history, you'll see some of the most iconic players always playing an ES335 at some point, including
Clapton,
Cream, and John Mayall, Blues Breaker days, Jeff Beck, Chuck Berry, B.B. King, you name it.
Yeah.
It's regarded as one of those guitars which you start playing when you attain a level of maturity.
Maturity of playing.
In guitar playing. It's not what it seems. It's not an old man's guitar. It's not a jazz guitar. It's not
what people think of it.
It's not what people think what it is, right? So that's what got me into 335s. But today, we're going to talk about this. This is a Donner DJP-1000. What it has done, what Donner has done here is create a ES model, not even calling it the ES model, they call it the Jazz. It basically captures so much out of different ES models put together. It kind of completed that sound in the studio.
Yeah, the whole spectrum.
It's a semi-hollow, so it definitely falls in the ES scheme of things. What a semi-hollow means is, no, it's not hollow inside. There's a log of wood which basically goes in the middle and the neck is glued, which is typical of Gibson style of guitars. It's a maple top. It's a maple body. It has a chunky neck, which is again maple. It has a rosewood fingerboard, 2 humbuckers, a bone nut, and it's a full-size body. The maple inside is completely polished, and I don't know whether the camera captures it. There's a block which is also polished. So that kind of adds a lot to the tone and the harmonic feedback which comes out.
The resonance as well, yeah.
Right? So what we're going to do is just test drive it. Enough of talking. So let's get into the playing. Okay, while we are at the split of this guitar, I'm very curious. I've never heard funk on this guitar, but since it has a split function, so that means you're talking single coils.
Yeah.
Why don't we try some funk?
Yeah. When you talk about ES335, you talk about classic rock. You can't ignore the man Clapton. Right.
Now, if you hear some of his earlier records, that's the foundation of rock as we know today, right? And most of the guitar magazines, he was popular for a tone of his called the woman tone. And every 335 player, or rather when they get the 335, one of the tones which they really want to go for is the Clapton woman tone.
Jangling noise machine, incapable of subtlety or delicacy. Lead guitarist Eric Clapton has built his reputation as a blues player on just these qualities, subtlety and delicacy.
And you get it very, very thin, like this. It's what you play when you've done that makes a difference, you know, because you can play...
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, just the amount of pressure you put on with the flat pick, you know, because you can hit the strings very hard or hit them very soft, you know, or just touch them at any volume.
So I'm going to try the same thing.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, we are not in a fuzz mode, we are in a driven mode. But the woman tone is nothing but basically your neck pickup with your tone rolled off to a point where it kind of sings. And it kind of, you know, it's like violinish. That's the best way I can define the woman tone. But let's try getting the Clapton woman tone and see how it goes. And what I'm going to do is to again show the dynamics of the pickup. I'm going to go to your bridge, which is in its full form, and play the chunky rhythm parts of it.
Yeah,
let's see how that sounds.
Let's hear that.
Alright, so closing thoughts. What do you think about this guitar?
So I was mainly fascinated with guitars due to the heavy clean that we get. That we don't get on the tellies, and of course not that heavy on Stratocasters. So that is one thing that pulled me towards it. Okay.
And mine is exact opposite. I love the harmonic feedback and the way it makes the amp scream.
I'm coming to that later. Like, that's the first thing that I love. But of course, when it is overdriven, it sounds phenomenal. Matlab, nothing can compare. Nothing comes even close to this. What this delivers when it is overdriven. You get the heaviness, right, of the clean sound, and when you overdrive it, like that is like very much full. What else you need?
It's buttery.
Yeah, it's buttery. It's so powerful.
It didn't kill the feedback completely. Even now when I played it, you heard it. You know, and we're not even on a tube amp, we are just on a normal solid state amp here. The way it feeds back, and the amp is doing a beautiful job.
Yeah, it's doing a great
job.
job.
Harmonic feedback. It's not a noise feedback.
Correct.
And especially the way the note holds on an ES.
Right.
It's very different from a Les Paul or a Strat or a Telly are a completely different, you know, sound altogether. Comparable sound is a Les Paul, but the way the note holds.
The bottom, it's the harmonic is very bottom heavy.
Exactly.
Unlike the Strats.
Very violinish.
Yeah, very violinish.
So, closing thoughts. I think this is one of those amazing hidden jewels.
Yeah.
I think in in the market today. It definitely completed my collection, and you can see from the wear and tear of the guitar that it's been in my studio for a few months. I think not even 3-4 months now.
Yeah.
It's been played. In fact, I removed this plastic today for the shoot, but despite of that, you can see the scratches, you can see the dust. It's been played.
Yeah, it's supposed to be played. So beautiful guitar.
So I think it's one of those hidden jewels. So if you want to complete your collection by putting in a semi-hollow guitar out there, and you don't want to spend the ridiculous amount of money that that goes for some of the US made guitars, this definitely fits in perfectly in that pocket.
Exactly.
And you're gonna enjoy it for years, man. The build is beautiful on this.
Totally.
So that's it, guys, on this episode of Guitar Talk. And this is a ES335 in your face, man.